Hello. Uh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 92 of Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. I am doing this for the first time from Israel. I just got in tonight, Israel time. By you, it's today. But it's going to be usual episodes, just going to be all pre-recorded instead of live. I've got Immaculate grid in front of me, MLB weekly recap, NFL week 1 recap, week 2 predictions, and college football week 2 recap, and week 3 preview. So let's get right into it. So with today's Immaculate grid, the board for audio listeners is the top is Mets 300 plus wins in a career pitching and 300 plus saves in a career pitching, and then the down is Giants, Braves, and Phillies. So let's start off with the Mets column. So Mets, Giants, Edgar Alfonso, I'm pretty sure played for both. He did 2%. That's a good find. Okay. Braves and Mets. Glavine played for both. Could go Tom Glavine. I'm wondering if that's going to be too obvious. Part of me thinks it might be. Okay. Lucas Duda, I think, played for the Braves. But is enough of a safe bet to go with it. I'm like 95. I don't usually look these up when I do it with you guys, but I really just want to look it up to be sure. But I'm pretty sure Lucas Duda was a Brave. Here we go. Am I correct? Yes. So being that Glavin's probably be the more popular answer, I'm going to go Lucas Duda. That was a good find, 0.6%. Glavine probably was up close to up top, if not the highest. Okay. Phillies, Mets, Wagner works there. And honestly, I think I'm just going to go Billy Wagner. 2%, not bad. Okay. 300 plus career wins. Mathewson do with Giants? Yes, 25%. Okay. Braves. I know Smoltz did. Spawn? Yes, 10%. Okay. Phillies. Robin Roberts. There's a chance he did. Cliff Lee, I'm not so sure. Doc Holliday might have. I'm going to go Robin Roberts. Okay, he did not. I'm going to skip it then. Okay, 300 plus career saves. Rob Nen get that? Yes, and probably the highest answer. Braves, 300 plus saves. Suter, 12%. And then Phillies, 300 plus saves. Took Wagner. I think Papelbon might actually. I was correct. 38%. Not bad. So missed one. Let's see. Papelbon and Nen were the answers I had highest. It's a good thing I didn't go Glavine because he was the highest for Braves, and that's at 30%. Highest for Giants, Mets is Willie Mays. That makes sense. Played at the end of his career with Mets. 300 plus wins for the Giants. Highest was Randy Johnson, oddly enough. Interesting. I mean, he got the milestone with the Giants, but interesting. And then for saves, that makes sense. Glavine for Braves and Mets is the highest. 300 plus wins, highest was Greg Maddux, actually, which kind of makes sense. And then for saves is Craig Kimbrell. That makes sense. Phillies, Mets, the highest is Lenny Dykstra, of course. I almost forgot about that. Nails, literally part of 86 Mets and the 93 Phillies, who both made the World Series. 86 Mets won, 93 Phillies lost. Steve Carlton is the highest with 300-plus career wins pitching for the Phillies. That makes sense. And Papelbon for saves. The most struggling area for people was Phillies and 300-plus career wins. How many different answers is there? 4 different answers. Let's see what my options would have been. Okay. Phillies. Carlton. I'm not sure who the other ones were, but Carlton's the only one that I saw that I know was Phillies. I don't know. But yeah, that is the Immaculate grid. So I'm going to stop sharing, and now let's get to the main part of the episode. And we're going to start off with NFL Week 1 because what a week we had. By the way, if you missed out, I had posted an immediate reaction YouTube short to the Lions Chiefs opening night game. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Check it out on the YouTube channel. Link to the YouTube channel is always in the description through Linktree to the YouTube channel. Or if you're on YouTube, you can just check on my check on the channel under shorts. But if you didn't catch it, the Lions won 21-20. There were so many evident things from this game. And the turning point to me was Brian Branch 50-yard pick six off Mahomes. That was off a pass off Kadarius Toney's hands. That was literally in his hands, in and out, pick six, turned the game around. And then David Montgomery had to go ahead rushing touchdown to give the Lions a lead that they would hold on to. But you could tell so much from this game that they were missing Travis Kelce and that Mahomes cannot do it alone. And I will even go out to the extent and say, I think if Kelce's there, I think he gets the ball on the pick six play instead of Kadarius Toney. And I think on top of that, the pick six doesn't necessarily happen because Kelce's got better hands than Kadarius Toney, and it's not even close. But it is what it is. It's how it played out, and we'll have to see what happens from here on out. But, yeah, Lions beat the Chiefs. Big statement showing that they are for real, even if it was without Kelce. And I didn't even really factor Frank Clark in the equation, though. Definitely tough that they were without him, but he'll be back. He got signed a 1-year deal, which basically is Saquon status. But, yeah, Browns-Bengals. I was shaky on this game trying to predict it. I had said Bengals for the podcast, and, well, the Browns actually won 24-3. It was raining. It was a sloppy game. Browns turned over the ball twice on a pick that wasn't really Watson's fault because it was tipped before it got intercepted. And then Jerome Ford fumbled. But that was more his fault. Not his fault. But anyways, the Browns were able to still win. And a huge part was their defense showed up big time. And you took a big difference between last year and this year with the new defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, who used to be with the Lions, and the Eagles, among other teams, as a head coach or defensive coordinator. And the crazy stat from this game is the Bengals started the game with 7 straight punts. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6, 7 straight punts. And barely led to points because Browns... I will say, though, a huge plus also from this game for Cleveland was Hopkins made all of his kicks, which that was the best thing, one of the best things they needed after cutting Cade York. But the Browns won 24-3, their first home win since 2004 on September 12th against the Ravens in a 20-3 win. Burrow only threw for 82 yards passing. Chase had 5 catches for 39 yards. Higgins had nothing, and it was just almost utter domination by the Browns. And they even took Burrow out with 6 minutes left. Also, one of the stupidest decisions the Bengals made in this game was they tried going for it on 4th down in their own territory which you'd basically be giving on a turnover on downs. You'd basically be giving the Browns the ball right within the red zone. They don't convert because Myles Garrett sacked him, and it led to the Browns stealing touchdown, which they went for 2 and got the 2-point conversion. But yeah, Browns won 24-3. San Francisco 49ers were all over Pittsburgh 30-7. It was not even a competition. And a big blow for Pittsburgh for this game is that for next week is Cameron Hayward's going to be out a few weeks with an injury. And they're playing the Browns Monday night, and I'll get to my prediction. But here's one thing I'm going to say about the Browns. The biggest thing that Pittsburgh should be fearing from the Browns win against Cincinnati, not only did they beat Cincinnati without their offseason addition in the secondary in Juan Thornhill, which obviously it's not who's out with the injury, calf injury. It's not a guarantee Thornhill's going to even be back for the Pittsburgh game, but that's a memo that the Browns defense can be even scarier depending on when Thornhill comes back. But either way, not just are they scary at the moment, possibly, but they could get even scarier once Juan Thornhill's back. So you really got to be concerned if you're Pittsburgh, and it should be interesting Monday Night Football matchup. But anyways, everyone thought going into the Packers-Bears that new quarterback for the Packers with uncertainty, new year, new Bears, new Packers, whole different story. Absolutely not. Packers and Jordan Love dominated the Bears 38-20 at Soldier Field, continuing the memo that it's new Bears, new Packers quarterback, same story. Cowboys utterly destroyed the Giants on Sunday Night Football 40-0. They had the Giants that were going for a field goal that ended up leading to touchdowns to the Cowboys' first points, which was basically a blocked field goal returned by Noah Igbenogany for a touchdown. And it was just all Cowboys all night long. And then last night, the big blow news to the Jets, Aaron Rodgers made his debut. Not too long in, sacked, comes out with an Achilles injury, came out today that is a torn Achilles and will be out for the rest of the year. However, thanks to going to overtime on a doink-in field goal by Tyler Bass, Xavier Gibson took the punt return after the Bills' first drive, which was the first drive in overtime, 65 yards for the game-winning touchdown, and the Jets' 22-16 win over the Bills. Predictions this week, I did not have such a good week. I went 7-9. Standings, Jets and Dolphins are tied for first at 1-0. Bills and Patriots are tied for third at 0-1. Browns and Ravens are tied for first at 1-0. Bengals and Steelers are tied for third at 0-1. The Jaguars are in first at 1-0, followed by everyone else at 0-1 in the South between the Titans, Colts, and Texans. In the West, the Raiders are the only 1-0 team. Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers are all 0-1. Chargers had lead and blew it against Miami. The Cowboys and Commanders are tied at 1, and Eagles all have 1-0 record, except the Giants are 0-1. The Packers and Lions are both tied at 1-0, while the Vikings and Bears are tied at 0-1. The Falcons and Buccaneers and Saints all are 1-0, while the Panthers are 0-1. And then Rams and Giants are 1-0, while Seahawks and Cardinals, and the Seahawks failed this week against the Rams, are both 0-1. That is standings update. So let's get right into week 2 of the NFL season predictions. Thursday Night Football, and all these times are going to be Eastern, even though I'm in a whole completely different time zone. Thursday Night Football kicks off with Vikings at the Eagles, which will be in 2 days at 8:15 on Amazon Prime Video. A rematch of the 2017 NFC Championship game. I have the Eagles winning this game. Minnesota blew their game against Tampa. They did not look good. And maybe proving last year was a fluke. Packers and Falcons, 1 o'clock on Fox. I have the Packers. Falcons were solid in their win, but I think Packers are better Raiders at Bills. I have the Bills, 1 p.m. on CBS. Ravens at Bengals, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Bengals. Seahawks at Lions at 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Lions. Colts at Texans, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Colts. Chiefs at Jaguars, rematch of last year's divisional round game, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Chiefs. Bears at Buccaneers, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Buccaneers. Chargers at Titans, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Chargers. Giants at Cardinals, 4:05 on Fox. I have the Giants. 49ers at Rams, 4:05 on Fox. I have the 49ers. Jets at Cowboys, 4:25 on CBS. If Rodgers was still playing, I would pick the Jets, but with him out and it's being Zach Wilson, I have the Cowboys, though I do give him credit for still competing even without Rodgers in. Commanders at Broncos, 4:25 on CBS. I have the Broncos. Dolphins at Patriots, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 on NBC. I have the Dolphins. 2 Monday Night Football games this week. Saints at Panthers, 7:15 on ESPN. I have the Panthers. And then Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ABC. Is Browns at Pittsburgh facing the Steelers. And I think the Browns are going to win this game. So that is my Week 2 predictions. We'll see how they play out. Let me know what your Week 2 predictions are in the comments below. I was about to say live chat, but I almost forgot that. This isn't even live. Anyway, so college football Week 2, there aren't a lot of keynotes, but there is some. Ohio State bounced back this week after their quarterback did not do so good. He threw 3 touchdowns in Ohio State's 35-7 win over Youngstown State. Now, yeah, they probably could have scored more and won by a bigger amount against Youngstown State, but they need the bounce back from McCord, and he definitely bounced back. Washington State beat number 19 Wisconsin 31-22. Miami beat number 23 Texas A&M 48-33. And the biggest upset of the week, number 11 Texas, who a year ago at home against Alabama lost by 1, went to Bama and beat Bama 34-24, becoming the first team since 2019 Joe Burrow and the LSU Tigers go into Bama and beat Bama at their stadium, which is a rarity in college football. The only key matchup to watch out for this week is number 9 Tennessee at Florida, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Otherwise, there aren't really any other key notable games. One second. Okay, so let's now get into MLB Weekly Recap. Since last episode, Stanton 2-run homer in 6 marks 400th career homer and did so in the fourth fewest games in MLB history, and the Yankees 5-1 win over the Tigers. Jose Altuve had a 3-homer game in first 3 innings and over 4 straight innings going back to the previous game, and his first to do so in expansion era since 1961, an Astros 14-1 win over the Rangers. With another 6 scoreless innings, marks Chris Bassett's 9th such start this season, which is most this season, and tied with Roger Clemens in 1997 for the most in a season in Toronto in Blue Jays history, in a 7-1 win over the Oakland A's. Sorry about that. Down 5-1, the Diamondbacks scored 11 unanswered runs from bottom of the 3rd till bottom of the 8th in 12-5 win over the Rockies. 9-run 5th leads Marlins over the Dodgers 11-4. Jason Dominguez in first game in Yankees game in the Bronx. 3 hits, including a homer in Yankees 4-3 win over the Tigers, though he is sadly out for the rest of the year with a torn UCL, which is sad to hear, but happy he at least got a lot of success at the big leagues because he was really doing well before he got hurt. Jose Abreu had a 207 RBI game in the Astros 12-3 win over the Rangers. Jordan Lawler in his major league debut, guys, first major league hit and Diamondback 6-2 win over the Cubs. He also had a big defensive play. Tommy Pham had a 2-homer game for the Diamondbacks. Spencer Torkelson had a 2-homer game leading the Tigers over the Yankees 10-3. Zach Gallen, a complete game shutout. Diamondbacks 1-0 win over the Cubs on Friday, with the 1 run just being because the ball was trapped by Seiya Suzuki and not caught. That led to run scoring. With the 5th inning double, was Freddie Freeman's 53rd double this season, passing Johnny Frederick for most in Dodgers history from 1929 and Dodgers 8-5 win over the Nationals. Carlos Correa in his first game versus the Mets after the eventful offseason with the Mets where he signed but didn't end up signing because of medicals. Homer in the first at-bat via game-tying solo home run and Met Twins 5-2 win. George Springer, 2-homer game, leads Blue Jays over the Royals 5-1. Sawyer Gibson, along in a major league debut, starting pitcher for the Tigers, went 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts, getting the win in Tigers' 3-2 win over the White Sox. Yankees win 4-3 after being combined no-hitter into the 11th in a 4-3 win versus Milwaukee in 13 innings between Burns, Williams, Abner Uribe, and one other reliever. C.J. Abrams, 2-homer game, leads the Nationals over the Pirates 6-2. Tommy Pham, in return to Mets since being traded, hit game-tying solo home run in the 8th and Diamondbacks 4-3 win. Brandon Woodruff threw a complete game shutout in Brewers 12-0 win over the Marlins. And Logan O'Hoppe, 2-homer game in the Angels 8-5 win over the Mariners. That is the weekly recap in terms of notes, standings update, with actually the first playoff spot being clinched, actually. But we'll get into that as we get into the standings. AL East, Orioles still in first place, 91-52. Their magic number to clinching division is 16, with the Rays 3 games behind at 89-56. AL Central, the Twins at 79-5-69, first place. Magic number is 11, with the Guardians 7.5 back at 68-77, followed by the Tigers at 8.5 back at 66-77. Followed by AL West, the Astros in first place at 82-63. Their magic number to win the division is 17. Followed by the Rangers at 79-64, 2 games back. Followed by the Mariners at 79-65, 2.5 games back. NL East, the only team to clinch a playoff spot, the Atlanta Braves at 94-50. Their magic number to clinch the division is 4, so they're most likely going to be the first team to clinch the division. For the NL Central, Brewers in first place at 80-63. Their magic number is 16, followed by the Cubs, who are 3 games back at 78-67, followed by the Reds, who are at 74-71, 7 games back. And for the NL West, it's 87. The Dodgers are first place at 87-56, with their magic number being 7 to clinch their division. So they'll probably be second to clinch the division, and probably not too far off from clinching playoff spot as well. Imagine that will be happening sooner than later for the Dodgers. And then wild card standings update. First place is the Rays, up 9 games, followed by the Blue Jays, who are half game up, followed by the Rangers 79-64, with magic number to clinch the wild card being at 19, followed by Seattle, who's a half game back, followed by the Red Sox 73-70, 6 games back, followed by the Yankees at 71-72, 8 games back. And then for the NL, Phillies in first, 3.5 up at 79-65, followed by the Cubs, who are 2 games up, followed by the Diamondbacks, who are 76-69, with their magic number to clinching the wild card spot being at 17. And then tied for 4th between the Marlins and the Giants, both 1.5 back, both at 74-70, followed by the Reds, who are 74-71, 2 games back, followed by the Padres at 68-77, 8 games back, followed by the Pirates at 66-78, 9.5 games back. And then as for today's schedule, there is a game going on, and a game going to be starting very soon at the time of me recording this at 4:12 your time, 11:12 my time. Yankees are up over the Red Sox in Boston, 3-2, bottom of the 9th. The second game is going to be starting at 7:10. Bottom of the 9th is about to start there, so nothing has happened just yet. Rest of the schedule, the Royals and White Sox play a doubleheader today, with Game 1 being at 4:40 and Game 2 being at no official time yet, depending on when Game 1 finishes. Nationals at Pirates at 6:35, Cardinals at Orioles at 6:35, Reds at Tigers at 6:40, Braves at Phillies at 6:40, Rangers at Blue Jays at 7:07, Diamondbacks at Mets at 7:10, Yankees at Red Sox at 7:10, Rays at Mets, Twins at 7:40, Marlins at Brewers at 7:40, A's at Astros at 8:10, Rockies at Cubs at 8:40, with hopefully a major league debut for the Cubs in Pete Crow Armstrong, who they called up. He actually pinch ran in their win yesterday, and also came up to hit, but he just did a sacrifice bunt, so not really much of anything. But this will be his official Major League debut, hopefully today. Angels and Mariners 9:40, Guardians and Giants at 9:45, and then Padres and Dodgers at 10:10. That is it for this week's episode of the podcast. I will also be doing this without a mic until I get back from Israel. But yeah, that is this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching, listening. If you are new here, leave a like, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a notification button so notify when I go live and or post a new video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit the notification button to notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And I will see you in next week's episode 93. Bye-bye.